Well, welcome to the solutions video for week 1. Let me set you up a little bit with how this is going to go. What my plan is that you will have tried these problems already and done as many as you possibly can, okay? And then what will happen is you'll watch this video to see if you got them right, and then if you need help with something, then that's another thing you could do, okay? So, you know, I'm going to go pretty fast here, and I just need you to understand that you can kind of ignore me until the point where you miss one. And then if you miss one, you might want to go back and rewatch how I did it to help clarify things, okay? So let's begin. We are doing number 1, and the first thing I would do is put these two together, and those are going to make a 0. And then to get the a by itself, you want to divide off the 5. So a is going to be equal to -1. Okay, there's number 1. Number 2 looks a little something like this. +1 = 4. Okay, so same thing. I'm going to put these two numbers together first, and a -3 + 1 is actually a -2. And now I'm trying to get the n by itself, so I need to add this one to the other side. And when I recopy that, I'm going to get -n = 6. And we don't like to leave a negative on the end, so I'm going to divide by -1. And I'm going to get n equals -6. So there's your number 2. Number 3. Number 3 is 1 minus 6b minus 6b = 1. So my first step is always to put the like terms together. These both have a b, and it's a -6 and another -6, so I'm going to call that a -12b, or just -12b. This 1 is in the way, so I need to move it to the other side, and I'm going to have -12b when you bring that down equals, what is a 1 minus a 1? Well, that's a 0. And then we're going to divide both sides by -12, and 0 divided by anything is still 0. Alright, so hopefully that one went well for you. Number 4. Alright, we've got -3 equals -x plus 2 minus 6. Okay, so the variable's on the right, and that's okay. A lot of people don't like it, but it's okay to leave it over here itself. But these two numbers we want to go ahead and put together because they are my like terms. Now, what is 2 minus 6? Well, that's a -4, or a -4. And so now I'm trying to get the variable alone, so I'm going to add the 4 to both sides to make that happen, and then I'm going to recopy everything. So a -3 plus 4 is a 1. I'm going to bring down my -x. Those make a 0, of course. And now we're almost done. I need the negative off the x, and to do that I need to divide by -1. So the answer would be x equals -1. Moving on to number 5. -4 times 1 minus 4a equals -84. Okay, so this one is where we add the step of distributing. Anytime you have a number multiplied outside the parentheses, remember you've got to distribute. So a -4 times 1 is a -4. A -4 times a -4a is actually a positive 16a. And then I recopy the other side. What next? Okay, we want the variable by itself, so let's add 4 to both sides. And we'll bring down the 16a, and this becomes a -80. And then to get the 16 off the a, we're going to divide by 16, divide by 16, and we have that. Now, that looks fun. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and reduce that fraction. Let's divide the top by 2. Let's divide the bottom by 2. Okay, we can actually reduce that again. Let's divide by 4 now. So that would be a -10/2. Oh, and what do you know? I should have noticed that. That's actually a -5. So that's a pretty answer when all is said and done. Okay, all right, next, number 6. All right, number 6. It looks very much like the one we just did, except the problem has been flip-flopped. The left is the right is the left. Ooh, sorry, making you sick. But it still distributes. So I'm going to recopy this side. I'm going to distribute this. So -3 times -3 is +9. -3 times a +5 is a -15. trying to get this by itself, so let's subtract the 9 from both sides and get a negative 90 equals negative 15x. And then we need the negative 15 off the x, so we need to divide it off. So what is negative 90 divided by 15? Well, I know 15 goes into 30 twice, so that'd be 3 sets of that, so I think that would be a 6. Okay, hopefully things are going okay for you guys. If not, remember, you get to ask in tutorials if you're doing tutorials with me. And then if not, email me if something doesn't make sense, or like I said, watch it again, rewind, pause, do all that to make sure you understand. This is very, very important stuff here. Foundation of all math is what we're doing right now. All right, number 7, same thing. We're going to distribute and take that negative with the 5. So I'm going to recopy the 2 and I'm going to think of it as negative 5 times 3 and negative 5 times negative 4. So it should look a little something like that. 2 minus 15, these are both normal numbers, so you could just write that as negative 13. And now we're trying to get the variable by itself, so let's do the opposite here and add 13 to both sides. We'll bring this down and have 20r equals, is that a 120? I think so. And then we need to divide both sides by 20. So we're going to get, what is that, 5, 6, I think, again? Oh, another answer of 6. So r is equal to 6. All right, number 7. Oh, that was 7. Number 8. Negative 5. 4v plus 3. Okay, great. So same as the last one. It's actually easier than the last one. Distribute, distribute. So negative 20v minus 15 equals 105. Trying to get the v by itself. So plus 15 plus 15. There's a 120 on that side. That's a 0. And now get the negative 20 off the v. And so v would equal, please don't be 6 again, oh my gosh, close, negative 6. And that would be how you do it, a positive divided by a negative, right? Alright, some of these are redundant answers, aren't they? Okay, then we have a 3n plus a 5n equals a 10 plus 6n. Okay, cool. Now it's getting interesting. We have n's everywhere. So step 1, combine like terms over here because they're on the same side. So just put those together. So we have 8n equals 10 plus 6n. Okay. And now we want to get the n's together because they're on different sides, guys. So to do that, I'm going to go ahead and just subtract this 6n. It doesn't matter which way you do it, but I'm going to choose to move things over here. So I'm going to minus the 6n and bring down the 10. And 8n minus 6n would be a 2n, and look how easy that is. Now you can just divide by 2, and you have your answer. Okay, so probably going to be some questions about that one. Number 10, negative 3x minus 5x equals 5 minus 3x. Okay, so with this one, same as the last one, you've got 2x terms already on the same side. So put those together with addition and it'll make a negative 8x. Recopy this side and now get our x's together. So plus 3x plus 3x. This will become a negative 5x. Those go away. Bring down the 5. You don't want the negative 5 on the x, so you divide it off and that's what you get. Alright, coolio. Number 11. We're flying through this, man. That's what I'm talking about. One day you can fly through it too if you haven't already. Okay, so same as the last one. 2 n's on the same side. Let's put those together first. Now let's bring the this n over to the other side. So I need to subtract it because you have to do the opposite, right, to bring it over. Bring this down. Don't forget that minus needs to come down with it. And now we're going to divide by 2, and n equals negative 5. All right. Number 12. Okay, number 12. 8 plus 5x equals 3x plus 2. Okay, there's x's on both sides and there's numbers on both sides. So this is interesting. So we have options. I think the first thing I'm going to do is move all the numbers over to this side over here, okay? So I need to subtract this 8 to make a 0, bring down my 5x, bring down my 3x, and then 2 minus 8 would be a minus 6. Now I want all my x's on the left. So to do that, I'm choosing to to subtract the 3 over to bring it over. And then those are gone now, and now it's a -6. Order doesn't matter. You can go either direction with this. This is how I prefer to do it. Variables on the left and numbers on the right. But if you did it the other way, we still should have got the same answer, okay? Number 13. Okay, for number 13, this is where fractions come into the picture. And I don't like fractions. A lot of people don't like fractions. Okay, so you have some options on this one. Man, there's a couple things that we could do here. I think what I'm going to do is just put these together first by getting a common denominator of 15, okay? Now, if I put a 15 on the bottom, that means I multiplied this by 3, and so the top you need to multiply by 3, so 12 times 3 needs to go there, okay? If I'm putting a 15 on the bottom here, that means I need to multiply the top by 5, because 3 times 5 is 15, and then I'm just going to leave this side the same. Okay, so this actually becomes 3 times 12, this is a 36 over 15 minus a 10 over 15. And then how do we do that? Well, what is 36 minus 10? It's 26 over 15. X equals 13/10. And I think I showed you guys a trick in the notes on how to handle something like this. If you've got a fraction in front of your x, the trick is just to multiply by the reciprocal. And it's not really a trick. I mean, you're just dividing and multiplying at the very same time. And so if I multiply this side by 15/26, I need to multiply this side by 15/26. Those are gone. They leave an x. And then on this side, you can do a little reducing. 13 goes into itself once, and 13 goes into 26 twice. And then a 10 and a 15, well, 5 goes into those, right? So 5 goes into 10 twice. 5 goes into 15 3 times. And then the top times the top is 3. The bottom times the bottom is 4. This is awesome. If you reduce early in your problem, then it will make the final fraction a lot prettier. All right, 14. We're almost done. How is that possible? All right, this one looks horrible. Oh, I lost my pen. No! Come back. Okay, let's try that again. Somewhere down here. Sorry, guys. I lost my place, and you get to get dizzy in the process here. Okay, I want to draw. How do I do that? Alright, let's make sure we got this. Okay, cool. So, what were we on? 14? 14. Okay, so 3/4 p plus 1/6 plus 7/3 p equals 269 over 60. Okay, so this one's not fun, not gonna lie. Okay, so I first am going to move the 1/6 to the other side. And at the same time, I'm going to try to get a common denominator with my 3 and my 4, okay? So the common denominator there would be 12. So I'm multiplying this 4 by 3 to get 12, so I need to multiply the top by 3, okay? Plus, same thing here, I'm going to make this 3 needs to be a 12 now, so I multiplied it by 4, so if I multiply the top by 4, it's a 28. And then on the other side, I have to figure out 269 over 60 minus 1/6. Well, what's the common denominator here? What number does 60 and 60 both go into? Well, they both go into 60. So if I turn this one into a 60, I just multiplied it by 10, so I need to multiply the top by 10. So 269 minus 10 is a 259 over 60. And then we're going to put these together. So what's 28 plus 9? I believe that's a 37. 12p equals 259 over 60. Gross. Now to get rid of this fraction, I'm going to multiply by the reciprocal, which means I'm multiplying by 12 over 37, just the opposite of it. Those will cancel, and leave you with a p. And then on this side, we're going to multiply this out. Now, this is gross. And I would try to cross-reduce as much as possible. Now, 6 goes into 12 twice, and 6 goes into 60 10 times. Okay, so I know that I can simplify that. In fact, look at this. 2 goes into itself once, and 2 goes into 10 5 times. So I can really simplify it. So I'm looking at 259 over whatever 5 times 37 is. And that is not something I know off the top of my head. So let me figure that out. 15,185. So it's going to be 259 over 185. Is that right? Okay. I don't know if that reduces. I don't think it does. I'm going to leave my answer like that, and I'll let you know if I'm wrong in tutorials, okay? Alright, number 15 and 16, and then we are done. Alright, 11/4 n minus 5/4 n equals negative 9/4. Thank you, Lord, because you have given us a common denominator and I don't have to figure it out myself. Everybody's got a 4, so we can immediately put these together. So what's 11 minus 5? Well, it's 6/4. And now, we're same trick. Multiply both sides by the reciprocal, which is 4/6. 4/6. And gone, 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 gone. There's an n. On that side, the 4's are gone. And what's a negative 9 over 6? Well, that is a negative 3/2. Yay! That was so much better than the last one. Alright, and then 16 is our final one. And with 16, let's see what they're doing to us. It looks like another bad one. Oh my gosh, that's a horrible number over there. I'm going to need a calculator. Okay, so these, let's get a common denominator, right? Which will be 15. Alright, so 3 times what is 15? 3 times 5 is 15, so the top by 5. 5 times what is 15? 5 times 3, so I need to do the top times 3. So what is 18 times 3? I think that's a 54, okay? And now, put these together, so 55 plus 54, that would be 109 over 15 is equal to this. And then we're going to do that whole multiply by the reciprocal thingamabopper. Okay. Ha ha ha, this looks terrible. Okay, now, except for 15 and 90. Now, 15 goes into itself once, and 15 goes into 90 6 times. Okay? So I'm going to reduce that to a 1 and that to a 6. Now, with this one and this one, I don't know if there's a number that goes into both of them. I don't know, maybe this number actually does go into that. Like maybe it's like times 10. Is that possible? If I have 10 of these, that would be, no, that's not going to work. What about 11? I wonder if that's 11. Let me just try 109 times 11 and see if that is actually it. It is it. Oh my gosh. Okay, so 109 goes into itself once, and 109 goes into this number 11 times. So on the top, we end up just having a negative 11 times a 1, and on the bottom, a 6 times a 1, and that's what you get for your answer. Yay, that was horrible. Alright, so the good news is this was the big fraction lesson, guys, and a lot of this other stuff, the numbers are going to be so much prettier. You will not have to do this horrific fraction stuff for a lot of the year. So, yay! Alright, cool. That's it.